Hands off Syria, a crowd of hundreds chanted. Calm down USA, they hollered. They held signs of the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's face high and proud. Congregating outside the MLC in Martin Place, a peaceful rally was driven by the Hands of Syria organisation that brought Sydney-siders by the dozen. They are supporters of the Assad regime and are against international intervention in Syria's civil war. A woman of Anglo-Saxon appearance stood conspicuous amongst the crowd, so I saddled over to her, and she informed me that when she heard of the chemical attacks last week, she was ready to rush off and protest against the Syrian embassy.
I was ready to find the Syrian embassy and protest against the government's annihilation of a certain group of people in the country. But it's amazing. A lot of people here actually believe the president isn't responsible for the chemical attacks. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? So you just don't know what to believe in the papers.
This is their story.
2008, Barack Obama made a statement that if a threat is not actual or imminent to the country's direct front line, then they should not get involved. Now, 5 years later, he's contradicted himself and sent warships to the borders in the Mediterranean Sea. All I can say is history does repeat itself. They got involved in Afghanistan, Libya, Lebanon, Palestine, Egypt, Jordan, Iran, Iraq, every country, and the results speak for themselves. They have never solved the problem. Millions of people have died. The people that haven't died have now been left without homes, water, shelter, food and basic security. So should America get involved, I think their past actions speak very much for themselves.
Because I'm against any military intervention on Syria, because inside Syria now, we're fighting terrorism. Maybe it started as a revolution, but when people from around the world, terrorists, have to come to another country to free it, that's not really freeing it. They're basically murdering the people, they're raping Christians, Alawites, Druze, even Sunnis that are not with them. So when things like that happen, and then you've got the West saying, oh, we're going to add to that, we're going to help them, we're going to help Al-Qaeda. How does that work when you're fighting Al-Qaeda in Iraq and Afghanistan, but in Syria you want to help them? It's just not right.
We're just trying to tell our story, which we have been for the past 2.5, 3 years. We're trying to unite everyone back together and bring Syria back to how it was prior to the war.
The Syrian people can work this out. They don't need us to help them with the bloodletting. The Syrian people are a sophisticated and noble people, and they can work this through if we give them room to do so. I mean, of course we can help. There are lots of ways we can help. We can increase humanitarian aid. We can give real support to the million and more refugees, and we can pray. But God stay the hand of the American military machine before it unleashes hell on the poor people of Syria and turns the entire Middle East into a raging inferno.
Hands off Syria. That's what they want.